from the field's edge, the east that was left behind. Some places you only visit once, but they stay with you forever. I first walked the streets of Johannisthal in the winter of 1990. A thin frost clung to the pavements. The wall had fallen, but not yet vanished. The air still hummed with the static of a country caught between breaths. I was a guest in a world both familiar and foreign. The old S-Bahn groaned its way toward the centre, past rows of tired buildings, past Red Army barracks, still manned, still watching. As an Englishman raised in the Cold War, I'd been taught to fear those young men, taught they were the enemy. But as I saw them through the train window, leaning on fences, smoking, bored, they looked no different to friends of mine who'd joined the British Army. Young, far from home, just doing what they were told. And that truth settled in me, quietly but permanently. Most enemies are just strangers in uniform. I spent Christmas that year in Der Stern, a little pub, more kneipe than bar, flickering lights, sticky tables, and yes, the occasional cockroach underfoot. But it had soul. The beer was warm, the company warmer. The conversation mixed broken English with East German charm. There were laughs, stories, cigarette smoke, and a kind of shared humanity that doesn't come bottled. I never forgot it. And then, in 2003, I returned. The streets were the same. Every step I took, I remembered. The same buildings, the same cracked pavements. But the people had changed. The Trabbies were gone, replaced with Fords and Mercedes. The quiet curiosity of 1990 had become a polished detachment. The Stern was gone. In its place, a glass-fronted bar, all chrome and clean lines, one menu away from Costa. The pub that once smelled of beer and history now offered lattes and laminated loyalty cards. And as I walked those familiar streets, another memory returned. A morning at Kadaway, back in 1990. I remember walking through its towering halls, opulent, overwhelming, a monument to Western plenty. And there, in the middle of it all, a painted Trabbie, parked inside the building like a modern relic, a slot cut into the roof, people dropping in Deutsche Marks to help Russia. It was labelled Winterhilfe, a phrase I'd recognised from old history books, once tied to Nazi-era welfare campaigns. But here, in 1990, it had been reshaped, not as propaganda, but as compassion. The East, now reduced to a car in a shopping centre, gently asking for help from behind the glint of display cases. I tried to find my way out, but Kadaway is vast, a palace of mirrors and staircases. I got completely lost. It was almost poetic. Even in freedom, I couldn't find the exit. They called it Reunification, but many still say it was West meets Middle, while the true East, the one they lost after the war, remained broken apart, in places like Pomerania, Silesia, and Memory. Germany was no longer divided, but wholeness was still out of reach. And yet, even now, when I sit beneath the apple trees, tea cooling in my hand, a young ginger cat stalking shadows with all the finesse of a circus act, I find myself back there, on a cold Berlin street, with the smell of beer and old smoke, with the sound of Red Army boots in snow, with the warmth of strangers, who became lifelong friends, with coins dropping into the roof of a painted car beneath a chandeliered ceiling. Some things are gone, but not forgotten. Not here. Not at the field's edge.